With all our hearts, we pray and ask, God bless Anambra, God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, we've trust in God, we will lift our homeland high. We believe in togetherness, we'll build a land of progress. Lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, states we love. Ask, God bless Anambra, God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, we've trust in God, we will lift our homeland high. We believe in togetherness, we'll build a land of progress. Lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, states we love.
Hello, welcome to this video. I'm going to discuss the Part A theory question of WAEC 2018, 2019 and 2020. Do listen and enjoy with me. So we are starting with the 2018 theory Part A questions. Expect videos on the Part B soon. So the first question we have in the 2018 mathematics WAEC past question says that a used car was purchased at 900,000 naira. Its value depreciated by 30% in the first year. In each subsequent years, it depreciates at 22% of its value at the beginning of that year. If the car was bought on 1st March 2011, calculate its value on 28th February. Depreciation means a reduction in value. Okay, so if you are told that the car is depreciating, you should know that the value is reducing year by year. So in the first year, we shall have 30% depreciation. You can actually find 30% of 900,000 naira then after you subtract. But if you don't want to waste your time, you should know that depreciation of 30% implies that 100% has been reduced to 70. That is 100% minus 30%. So without wasting time here, instead of using 30% to multiply 900,000 and subtract at the end of the day, we can easily use 70% because the depreciation of 30% implies that 70% is left. So we call it 70 over 100, then multiplied by 900,000 naira, all over 1. 20, we cancel this 20. We are left with 7 times 9 is 63, right? 63. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. So we are having 630,000 naira in the first year. Now, second year, we shall begin with 630,000 naira. But we are told that the value is now 22% other years, apart from the first year where it depreciated by 30%. But remember, this started from 211 and ended at 215, which is 4 years. So we are going to do this into 4 places. So the second year we have 22% now, and the 22% depreciation means removing 22 from 100, and that will give us around 78% over 100. Then multiplied by, we are using 630,000 naira because they say in each subsequent year. So we have 630,000 all over 1. 20 cancels 20. So we are left with 78 multiplied by 6,300. 78 times 6,300. That will give us 491,400 naira. We also solve for the third year. In the third year, we shall have it as the same 22%, which is 78%. 78 over 100 multiplied by this value now, 491,400 all over 1. 20 we cancel 20. We are left with 78 multiplied by 78 times 4914. 78 times 4914. That will give us 383,292. We've solved for the third year. Then finally for the fourth year, it is still at 78% because other year is 22%. So we have 78 all over 100. Then multiply by 383,292. 383,292 all over 1. Now there are 2 zeros in 100, so you move 1, 2 and put point here so that the 100 will be cancelled. So we shall have 78 multiplying 3832.92. Okay, so we have 78 times 3832.92. And that will give us 298,967.76 naira. So this is the value of the car at the end of February 2015. So let's take the second question. In the second question, question number 2a, we are told that the graph of y equals to px squared minus px squared minus 14 passes through the point 3, 10. Find the values of p. So you have y equals to px squared minus this 2 is here minus p squared x minus 14. It passes through the point 3, 10. This implies that x is 3, y is 4. So x is 3 and y is equal to 10, y is 10, not 4. So you put it in this function. Seeing y here, I'll put 10. I'll have 10 equals to p into, see my x, I'll put 3 all squared minus p squared into, seeing x, I'll put 3 again minus 14. So 10 is equivalent to 3 squared is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 18p minus 3 times p squared is 3p squared minus 14. Collecting like terms, I can write this one to the left hand side first. I can write 18p minus 3p squared minus 14 is equivalent to this term. So that this term will cross over here, it becomes negative. So 18p minus 3p squared minus 14 minus 10 equals 0. So 18p minus 3p squared minus 24 equals 0, because minus 14 minus 10 is minus 24. I can actually write minus 3p squared first before plus 18p, then minus 24 is equal to 0. I can divide everything by 3, since 3 is the coefficient of p and 3 can divide everything here. Or better still, I can divide everything by minus 3 so that this negative sign goes away. If I divide p squared by minus 3, I'll have just p squared. Divide 18 by minus 3, I'll have minus 6p. divide minus 24 by minus 3, I'll have plus 8 equals 0. So to solve this resulting quadratic equation, we will have p squared minus 6p plus 8 equals 0. You think of two numbers, you will times. Two numbers you will times to get 8. If you add, you get minus 6. The two numbers are 4 and 2. They should be negative because minus 4 times minus 2 will give us plus 8, and minus 4 minus 2 will give us minus 6. So we'll have p minus 4 into p minus 2. This is a shortcut of doing it anyway. So either p minus 4 is equal to 0. When the product of two terms gives us 0, it means that one of the number is 0 or both of them are 0. So p will give us positive 4 when it crosses over, or the second one, p minus 2 is equal to 0, so p will give us a positive 2 as the answer. Therefore, p is equal to 2 or 4. This is the solution to 2a. So let's take the second 2a question, number b. Okay, in the question number 2b, this is question number 2b, we are told that two lines 3y minus 2x is equal to 21 and 4y plus 5x is equal to 5 intersect at the point Q. Find the coordinate of Q. If two lines are intersect, you can solve them simultaneously. You can equate them and solve. Okay, so now we can just have 3y minus 2x equals 21 as our equation 1, while we have 4y plus 5x equals 5 as our equation 2. To solve this simultaneously, the value of x and y will give us the coordinate of Q. Okay, so to solve simultaneously here, the value I need to eliminate must have the same coefficient. For example, now if I want to eliminate y, I will multiply this equation 1 by 4 immediately and multiply equation 2 by 3. What I did here is that I swapped their coefficient. The coefficient here is 3, I'll use it to multiply the second one, while the coefficient here is 4, I'll use it to multiply the first one. Okay, so that they have equal coefficients. And when I do that, 4 times 3y is 12y, 4 times minus 2x is minus 8x, 4 times 21 is 84, this is non-equation 3, 3 times 4y is 12y, 3 times 5x is 15x, and 3 times 5 will give us 15. This is non-equation 4. Now, let us take away equation 4 from equation 3. The reason I will subtract is because when I say 12y minus 12y, it will give me 0. Therefore, y has been eliminated. But when I write addition here, it means 12y plus 12y, which is 24. The value of y has not been eliminated. Therefore, to know when to minus or when to plus, think of what you will do to the variable you want to eliminate to ensure that it becomes 0. When I subtract here, this will be 0. Therefore, what I need to do here is to subtract. I will now say minus 8x minus 15x. This will give us minus 23x. And 84 minus 15. This will give us 14 minus 5 is 9. This is left with 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. This is 69. So to get the value of x, I will divide both sides by minus 23. Minus 23, this cancels out. So x will give us minus 3 when you divide 69 by minus 23. Substitute x equal to minus 3 in any of the equation. Let us use equation 1 in equation 1. From equation 1, we shall now have it as 3y minus 2. I see x immediately, I'll put minus 3 equals 21. This is now 3y minus 2 times minus 3 is plus 6 equals 21. Plus 6 crosses over, it returns to minus 6. So 3y is now 21 minus 6. 3y will now give us 15. So to get the value of y, I will divide both sides by 3, which is the coefficient of y. I will divide by 3. And when I do that, I am getting 5. Therefore, the required coordinate of point will now be x, y, and x is -3, so you have -3 and 5. That is the coordinate of Q where the two lines intersect. So let's take the next question. In question number 3a, we are told that the diagonals of a rhombus are 10.2 cm and 9.3 cm long. Calculate correct to one decimal place the perimeter of the rhombus. This is a rhombus. One property of the rhombus is that all the sides are equal. The diagonals are the lines joining two of the vertices together. So this is a diagonal, this is a diagonal. And one diagonal is 10.2 cm. 10.2 cm, the first one, while the other one is 9.3 cm. One property of a rhombus is that the diagonals bisect each other. Therefore, if from here to here is 10.2, so half of it will be 10.2 divided by 2, which is 5.1. Therefore, here is 5.1 cm and here is 5.1 cm. From here to here, 5.1, while from here to here is 5.1. Also, the other one is 9.3 cm. So this is 9.3 cm. You divide by 2 also. This is 2 divide 9 is 4. Remember 1. 2 divide 13 is 6. Remember 1. Assume here is 0. Divide 10 by 2, you have 5. So here is 4.65 and here is 4.65. Remember, our task here is to get the perimeter of the rhombus. The perimeter of the rhombus is just the distance around this rhombus. So if you're able to get any of the side, you multiply by 4 because it has 4 sides and all the sides of a rhombus are equal. So I can carefully bring out one part like this. You can see they are right angles to each other, the meeting point. So here is now 5.1 cm, while here is now 4.65 cm. So to get the length of the side of this rhombus, I will apply Pythagoras Theorem, looking at this shape here. The Pythagoras Theory, which is telling us that the square of the hypotenuse is the sum of the squares of these sides. 5.1 squared plus 4.65 squared. So L squared will give me, let's get 5.1 squared. 5.1 squared will give us 26.01 plus 4.65 squared will give us 21.6225. When I sum up, I will have 47.6325. Therefore, L is now square root of 47.6325. So if I find the square root now, it will give me 6.9016 etc centimeter. This is the length of the sides. But the question says to one decimal place. But before I get to one decimal place, let me get the perimeter. The perimeter is 4L because it has 4 equal sides. So it's gonna be 4 multiplied by this value. I can even take 6.9. All these ones are insignificant, and 6.9 is already at one decimal place. So I will now say 4 times 6.9. When I do that, the perimeter will now be 27.6 centimeter. This is now the perimeter of this particular rectangle, of this rhombus. So let's take another one. It says, given that sine x is equal to 3 over 5, and 0 degrees is less than x, x is less than 90 degrees. Find the value of 5 cos x minus 4 tan x. So to get that, you should know that sine x normally is opposite over hypotenuse from trigonometric ratio, Socatua. You should know Socatua. Socatua. Where s is sine, opposite over hypotenuse, cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, tan, opposite over adjacent. So, and this sine x, we are told that it is equal to 3 over 5. This implies that opposite is 3, while hypotenuse is 5. You can now draw a right angle triangle. You put your angle x, either here or here as you like. Then this is the right angle. any side facing the angle is the opposite. The longest side is the hypotenuse, while here is now the adjacent. So opposite is 3, I'll place 3 here. Hypotenuse is 5, I'll place 5 here. If you are conversant with Pythagoras triple, you know that here will be 4. But even at that, let me call it y. Using Pythagoras Theorem, y squared is equal to 5 squared minus 3 squared. I am subtracting because I'm not looking for the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. So y squared will give us 25 minus 9, because 5 squared is 25, 3 squared is 9. When I minus, I will get 16, hence y is equal to square root of 16, which gives us 4 cm, or 4 units, 4. So here is now 4. So the question says we should get 5 cos x and 4 tan x. First of all, you know that cos x from Quadrature is adjacent over hypotenuse. Therefore, cos x is now adjacent, which is 4, over hypotenuse, which is 5. Also, tan x, which is here, is opposite over adjacent. And our opposite is 3 over adjacent, which is 4. Therefore, to solve this equation, 5 cos x minus 4 tan x, to solve this hot equation, we have 5 cos x is now 4 over 5. I'll put 4 over 5 for cos x. 4 over 5 minus 4 into tan x is 3 over 4. So I have 3 all over 4. 5 we cancel 5, 4 we cancel 4. We are left with this 4 minus this 3. And 4 minus 3 is 1. Therefore the answer is 1. Let's take the fourth question. For A, we are given this figure and we are told that angle QOS is a diameter. Line QOS is a diameter of this circle, and the angle at RQS is x degrees, as you can see. YQST is 3x plus 15. We are told to find the value of x and as well as angle RSQ. So to find the value of x, you should know that this is a straight line. Therefore, angle QSR or RSQ, as the case may be. So let me call it RSQ, the same thing. RSQ will give us 180 minus whatever I'm having here, because this is a straight line. Angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. So it will give me 180 degrees minus 3x plus 15 degrees. So angle RSQ will now be 180 minus 3x minus 15. This negative sign is going into all of them. So angle RSQ will now be 180 minus 15 is 165, then minus 3x. That is the value of that angle. Then remember that this is angle in a semicircle, which is 90 degrees already. And here is now 16 minus 3x. Since this shape is a triangle, QSR is a triangle. The sum of angles in a triangle is 180. Therefore, angle x plus angle 16 minus 3x plus 90 degrees is equal to 180. Reason, sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Now x minus 3x is minus 2x. 16 plus 90 is, so this is 165. 165 minus 3x. So 165 plus 90 will give us 255 degrees equals 180 degrees. So minus 2x will now be 180 degrees minus 255 degrees. So when I subtract, I will get minus 75 degrees. So to get the value of x, I will divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2, the coefficient of x. This cancels out. Minus cancel minus. So x will give us 30. 2 divided 7 is 3, carry 1. 2 divided 15 is 7, remainder 1. That is 37.5 degrees. That's the value of x. So we've answered question I, the value of x. They said also we should get angle RSQ. Remember, this angle RSQ, we've called it 165 minus 3x. Therefore, angle RSQ will now be 165 minus 3 into, because 3x, x is now 37.5, which is 165 minus, let's be faster, 3 times 37.5, that will give us 112.5. 112.5. And when we take the subtraction, you shall see that angle RSQ will now be 52.5 degrees, and that is the answer. So the value of angle RSQ is 52.5 degrees, while the value of x is 37.5 degrees. So let's go to another question. Alright, in question 4b, we are told that if 2n4 base 7 is equivalent to 15n base 9, we should find the values of n. Here is 0, here is 1, here is 2. 0, 1, and 2. So this is 2 times the base 7 power of 2 plus n times the base 7 power of 1 plus 4 times the base 7 power of 0 equals, here we have 1 times base 9 power of 2 plus 5 times base 9 power of 1 plus n times base 9 power of 0. So this will give us 2 times 7 squared is 49 plus n times 7 plus 4 times 1. Any number power of 0 is 1 equals 1 times 9 times 2 is 81 plus 5 times 9 power of 1 is 9 plus n times 1. 9 power of 0 is 1. So we have 2 times 49, which is 98 plus n times 7 is 7n plus 4 times 1 is 4 equals 1 times 81 is 81 plus 5 times 9 is 45 plus n times 1 is n. We collect like terms, but normally 98 plus 4 will give us 102 plus 7n equals 81 plus 45 is 126 plus n. Collect like terms, we shall have 7n minus n, positive coming here is negative, equals 126 minus 102. So that 6n will give us 24 when I subtract. Divide both sides by 6. If I do that, n will give me 4. Therefore, the value of n is 4. So let's take another question. So in the question number 5a, we are told that the mean of m plus n plus p plus q is equal to 12. Mean means the sum of all of them. We are summing them now. All over total, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Equals the mean of 12. I can call over 1. Cross multiply, you see that m plus n plus s plus p plus q will give us 5 times 12, which is 60. At this stage, there is nothing I can do. I'll call it equation 1. Also, we are asked to calculate the mean of these figures there. So to get their mean, let us add everything there. We have m plus 4 plus the next one, n minus 3 plus s plus 6 plus p minus 2 plus q plus 8 over total. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 5. Now let us get the letters first. The letters are m plus n plus s plus P plus Q. Then 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. And 5 plus 8 is 13. So you say plus 13 all over 5. Remember from here, equation 1, that M plus N plus S plus P plus Q is 60. So I will replace all these values, these letters here with 60. Hence I will now write 60 plus 13 all over 5. And 60 plus 13 will give us 73 over 5. If I divide, 5 divided 7 is 1, remainder 2. Put it here, it becomes 23. 5 divided 23 is 4. Remainder 3 all over 5. Or you call it 14.6 when you change to a decimal. So they are the same thing. So let's take the next question. Okay, in the 5b, it says that in a community of 500 people, the 75th percentile age is 65 years, while the 25th percentile age is 15 years. How many of the people are between 15 and 65 years? Now, we have already been told that 75th percentile age is 65 years, while 25th percentile age is 15 years. How many people are between 15 and 65 years? Okay, now 75th percentile means 75 over 100 multiplied by 500 persons over 1, because there are 500 persons there. 0 cancels 0 here. We are left with 75 times 5, which is 75 by 5, let's see. 25, 5, carry 2. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 2, 37. So it will give us 375 people. And these 75 people are the 75th percentile, which are people between, which are people under 65 years. Also, 25th percentile means 25 all over 100 times the same 500 persons. This cancel out. We'll have 25 times 5, which is 125 people are between are under the age of 15 years. So the question says, how many people are between 15 years to 65 years? 15 years, 125 people. 65 years, 37 people. So people between the ages is just a subtraction of this. And when you say 375 minus 125, this will automatically give us 250. So there are 250 people which lie between 15 and 65 years in the village. Thank you. We've successfully finished 2018 Part A theory questions. So we've entered 2019 Part A theory questions. The first question there says, given that 110 base x is equivalent to 40 base 5, we should find the value of x. We have 110 base x equals 40 base 5. Call this 0, 1, 2, then 0, 1. So this is 1 multiplied by the base x to the power of 2 plus 1 multiplied by the base x to the power of 1 plus 0 multiplied by base to the power of 0 equals 4 times 5 base power of 1 plus 0 times 5 power of 0. 1 times x squared is x squared plus 1 times x is x. Anything times 0 is 0 equals 4 times 5 is 20, and anything times 0 is 0. So we have x squared plus x equals 20. This one coming to this side, we have x squared plus x minus 20 equals 0. To solve this, just follow the short trick to solve it. Think of two numbers you multiply to get 20, to get minus 20. If you add it, you get 1. The coefficient here is 1. Of course, the number should be minus 4 and 5. Because minus 4 times 5 is minus 20. And minus 4 plus 5 will give us 1. So we have x minus 4 and x plus 5. When the product of two terms is 0, it means that either one of the numbers is 0 or both of them are 0. So therefore I can write either x minus 4 is 0, which means x is 4, or x plus 5 is 0. Plus crossing over will give us minus. But base can never be negative. We've got x as 4 or x as 5. The base of a number can never be negative, therefore we take positive value. Therefore x is equal to 4. That's the value of x and not minus 5. Bases can never be negative. So let's take another one. Okay, in the question number 1b, we are asked to simplify 15 over square root of 75 plus sod 108 plus sod 432, leaving the answer in the form of a sod b, where a and b are positive integers. So we have 15 over sod 75 plus sod 108 plus sod 432. From here, think of two numbers you multiply to get 75. One of the numbers must be perfect square and one will not. Of course, it should be 25 and 3, because 25 times 3 is 75. 25 is a perfect square. Plus, this should be 108 should be, think of two numbers with times, so that one will have a square root that is perfect and the other will not have. This number is quite big to think of, so look at the best way to do it. Draw a straight line, you write 108. 2 here is 5, 4. 2 here is 27. 3 can go now, you have 9. 3 here you have 3. 3 here you have 1. This is 4. This is 9. So you have 4 times 9, 36. This 3 has no place, so it stays alone. So we're having 36 and 3. So you use 36 times 3 to represent 108. Okay, so here, the same thing can be done on 432. But let me not waste time. If you learn this, you can use it to do the other one. This should be giving us 144 and 3. 144 and 3. 144 times 3. So square root of 25 here will give us 5 sod 3, plus square root of 36 will give us 6 sod 3, plus square root of 144 is 12 sod 3. Okay, now if I like, I can rationalize this, or I find the LCM once. The LCM is 5 sod 3. This divide this is 1. 1 times 15 will give us 15 again, plus this divide this is 5 sod 3. So use 5 sod 3 to times 6 sod 3. 6 sod 3 times 5 sod 3. Now 6 times 5 is 30. 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 30 will give us 90. So this one is 90, plus, you say again, 5 sod 3 divided by 1 is 5 sod 3. So I'll use 5 sod 3 to multiply 12 sod 3. 5 sod 3 times 12 sod 3. 5 times 12 is 60. 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 60 is 180. So you write 180. When I add up, 180 plus 90 will give me 270. Plus 15, I'll have 285 over 5 sod 3. So at this stage, I can rationalize this. So you have 285 over 5 sod 3 times 5 sod 3 over 5 sod 3. That is how to rationalize. And to rationalize this, it shall give us 285 times 5, 285 times 5, 285 times 5 will give us 1425 sod 3. All over 5 times 5 is 25 times sod 3 times sod 3 is square root of 9, and square root of 9 is 3. So 25 times 3 is 75. Now let us see if 1425 is divisible by 75. Of course, if you divide 1425 by 75, it is giving us just 19, then sub 3. So the answer to this, which is in the form of a sub b, is 19 sub 3. Let's take another one. So in question number 2a, it says, find the equation of the line which passes through the points minus 2, 7 and the 2, minus 3. Just know that this one is x1, this is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. The equation of a straight line is given by y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. We've known our y1 and x1 from here, but we don't know m. M is the gradient. The gradient of a straight line m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So our y2, you can see, is negative 3 minus y1, our y1 is 7, all over x2. x2 is 2 minus our x1 is minus 2. So minus 2 is double now. This will give us minus 3 minus 7 is minus 10, all over minus minus is plus, 2 plus 2 will give us 4. 2 here will give us minus 5, 2 here will give us 2. So the gradient m is minus 5 over 2. So I'll plug it here. We shall now have y minus y1, which is 7, is equal to m. M is now minus 5 over 2 into x minus x1. Our x1 is minus 2. Minus minus turns to plus. This can be written as y minus 7 over 1 equals minus 5 into x plus 2 all over 2. Minus 5 is times in this, then over 2. Cross multiply 2, we multiply y, we have 2y. 2 we times minus 7, we have minus 14 equals minus 5 times x is minus 5x. Minus 5 times 2 is minus 10. Collect like terms, we shall have 2y is equal to minus 5x minus 10. Then minus 14 crossing over becomes plus 14. So that 2y is equal to minus 5x plus 4, because minus 10 plus 14 is 4. To get the value of y, I will divide everything here by 2. So y will now be minus 5x over 2 plus 4 over 2. Finally, y is now minus 5x over 2, then plus 2, because 4 divided by 2 will give us 2. This is the required equation of the straight line. Let's take the next one. Okay, so in 2b, we have, given that 5b minus a over 8b plus 3a is equal to 1 over 5. Find, correct to 2 decimal places, the value of a over b. We have 5b minus a over 8b plus 3a equals 1 over 5. Cross multiply. So 5 is multiplying 5b minus a. When 1 times this, we still get the same thing, 8b plus 3a. Open the bracket. 5 times 5b is 25b. 5 times minus a is minus 5a. Is 8b plus 3a. We collect like terms. 25b minus 8b. This coming over here is minus. Equals 3a minus 5a. Moving again becomes plus 5a. 25b minus 8b will give us 17b equals 3a plus 5a will give us 8a. This is for online maths, where I upload so many mathematics videos every day. Kindly follow so that my fight for maths to end maths phobia will come to actualization. Thank you so much, and remain blessed.
With all our hearts, we pray and ask, God bless Anambra, God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, with trust in God, we will lift our homeland high. We believe in togetherness, we'll build a land of progress. Lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, states we love. Ask, God bless Anambra, God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine.
That's the value of Q, given that this is the value of P. So what is R here? R is 10. I'll have 10 times K. Our K is 4 all over P. Our P is 3. I'll write 3 to the power of 3 over 2 plus M. Our M is 15. I'll have 15 times S. Our S is 0.2. I'll clean here to complete this. So from here we'll have that our Q is now 10 times 4 is 40 all over. Now 3 raised to the power of 3 over 2. 3 over 2 can be seen as 1.5. So to be faster, just press 3 raised to the power of 1.5. It will give us 5.196152423, so many, plus 15 times 0.2, 15 times 0.2, that will give us just 3. So Q is equal to 40 over, if I add this, I have 8.196152423, because 3 plus 5 is 8. Then you write the decimals. So Q will now be 40 divided by 8.196152423. That will give me 4.88 to 2 decimal places. To 2 decimal places. This is the value of Q. So let's take another question. Okay, so the number 2b says, given that x plus 2y over 5 is equal to x minus 2y, find x is to y. So we have x plus 2y all over 5 is equal to x minus 2y. We can say over 1. Cross multiply. This is times 5. So we have 5 into x minus 2y equals x plus 2y times 1 is x plus 2y. I'll open the bracket. I have 5 times x is 5x. 5 times minus 2y is minus 10y equals x plus 2y. Now collect like terms. We have 5x. X crossing over is minus x equals, here we have 2y. Let's minus 10y come over here. It becomes plus 10y. 5x minus x is 4x. 2y plus 10y is 12y. Now we are asked to get x is to y. X is to y is the same thing as x over y, which means we are dividing by y. Y is down here. Therefore, divide both sides by y. I'll divide both sides by y. Y cancel y. I'm now having that 4x over y, as you can see here, is equal to 12. We need x over y. So to get this x over y, I will divide both sides by 4. So x over y is now 12 over 4. 4 here is 1, 4 here is 3. So x over y is equal to 3 over 1. Therefore, x is to y will now be 3 is to 1. That is the answer, 3 is to 1. So let's take another question. Okay. In question 3a, we are given this particular circle, and we are told that in the diagram O is the center of the circle, and the line BC is equal to line CD, you can see it, and the angle BCD is 108, so this angle here is 108 degrees. We have to find angle CDE, C, D, and E. So this is the angle we need to find, angle CDE. This particular angle, all the angles here. Now you cannot get this without making a construction, because there's nothing we can do here. So if I were you, I will join this particular point. If I join it, you can see that this is a diameter, since here is O, center, this is a diameter, and this arc, this particular arc here, is forming an angle at the circumference. Look at the angle is forming at the circumference, this particular angle. And you know that angle at a semicircle is 90 degrees. Since this is a diameter, this is a semicircle, and angle at a semicircle is 90. Therefore, this angle here is 90 degrees. So you can write angle BDE equal to 90 degrees. Reason, angle in a semicircle. Angle in a semicircle. But consider triangle BCD. If you consider it, you see that this side and this side are equal, therefore this is isosceles triangle. I can call here X and can call here X. Since it is isosceles triangle, the base angles are equal. Therefore, the sum of the angles here is equal to 180 degrees. I can write X plus 108 degrees equals 180 degrees. X plus X is 2X plus 108 degrees equals 180 degrees. So 2X will give me 180 degrees minus 108 degrees. So 2X will give us 72 degrees when I subtract. So to get the value of X, I will divide by 2. This cancels out, so X is 36 degrees. That's the value of X. Therefore, this angle here is 36 degrees. But angle CDE that I'm looking for is from here to here, which is 36 plus 90. Therefore, angle CDE will now be 36 degrees plus 90 degrees, and that will give us 126 degrees. So let's take another question. In question 3B of 2020 theory part A, we are told that tan X is sub 3 and the angle X lies between 0 to 90 degrees. We are asked to evaluate this. We only know the value for tan, but we don't know the value for cosine and sine. Therefore, we need to work out the values of cosine and sine. Remember that tan X or tan theta is opposite over adjacent from Quadrature. Sine opposite over hypotenuse. Tan opposite over adjacent, or rather cos. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, while tan is opposite over adjacent. And the same tan X, we are told that is equal to sub 3. This sub 3 can be seen as sub 3 over 1. Because if I divide sub 3 by 1, I will still get sub 3. If I have a right angle triangle like this, and my angle X is here, for instance, remember the side facing the angle is the opposite. So here is opposite, here is adjacent, while the longest side is hypotenuse. So my opposite is now sub 3. Opposite sub 3. So here is sub 3. Adjacent is 1, so here is 1. But I don't know the hypotenuse. I can call it y. Using Pythagoras Theorem, I can now get the value of y. Hence, y squared is equal to sub 3 squared plus 1 squared. Y squared will give me, sub 3 squared means sub 3 times sub 3, which is square root of 9. And square root of 9 is 3. Plus 1 squared is still 1. When I add together, I will get 4. So the value of y is equal to square root of 4. And square root of 4 will give me 2. That is the value of y. So here is now 2. Hence, to get my cos x cos x, you can see that it is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is 1 over hypotenuse, which is 2. For sine x, it is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is sub 3. Hypotenuse is 2. So we are going to put, anywhere I see cos x, I put 1 over 2. If I see sine x, I put sub 3 over 2. So coming here now, cos x, I'll plug in 1 over 2. So I have 1 over 2 to the power of 2 minus sine x is sub 3 all over 2 over sine x again. I'll put sub 3 over 2 to the power of 2 plus cos x, I'll put half. Now, 1 squared is still 1 over 2 squared is 4 minus sub 3 all over 2 over sub 3 squared is square root of 3 times square root of 3, which is square root of 9, and square root of 9 is 3 over 2 squared is 4 plus 1 over 2. Without wasting time here, the LCM of 4 and 2 is 4. 4 divided 4 is 1. 1 times 1, 1 minus 4 divided 2 is 2. 2 times sub 3 is 2 sub 3. I will come down here. The LCM of 4 and 2 is still 4. 4 divided 4 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 4 divided 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So this will give me 1 minus 2 sub 3 over 4 divided by, this line here is division. 3 plus 2 is 5 all over 4. Remember, division will be changed to multiplication, and I will turn this fraction upside down. So if I clean here now, I will have that 1 minus 2 sub 3 all over 4 will now multiply, change to times, turn upside down, 4 all over 5. 4 will cancel out. We shall have 1 minus 2 sub 3 all over 5. And this is the answer. Let's take another one. In the number 4 question, we are told that the total surface area of a cone of slant height LCM and the base radius RCM is 224 pi centimeter squared. If R is to L is equal to 2 over 5, find the value of R. Remember, total surface area of a cone, total surface area of a cone is curved surface area plus the area of the circular face, which is circle is pi r squared. If I factor out, I'll have pi r into L plus R. This is the formula you use in getting this total surface area of a cone. We are told that the total surface area of this cone is 224 pi squared, pi centimeter squared. So I can write that pi r into L plus R is equal to 224 pi. Remember, pi can cancel out pi, as I have that R into L plus R is equal to 224. But I cannot be looking for two things at the same time. I was given an information here that R is to L equals 2 over 5 from there. And the ratio is a fraction. I can write R over L equals 2 over 5. Cross multiply. 2L is equal to 5R. So assuming I want to get the value of R here, I will divide both sides by 2. Or rather, if I want to get the value of L, I will divide both sides by 2 to get the value of L. Therefore, the slant height of this cone is equal to 5R all over 2. So anywhere I see L here, I will put 5R over 2. Therefore, I am free to write that R here into seeing L, I'll write 5R all over 2 plus R equals 224. Open the bracket. R times 5R is 5R squared all over 2 plus R times R is R squared equals 224. Now to clear fraction, I can multiply everything by 2 here. If I multiply this by 2, 2 cancels out. I have 5r squared plus, multiply by 2, I have 2r squared equals, multiply by 2, I have 4, 4, 8. Now 5r squared plus 2r squared will give us 7r squared equals 4, 4, 8. So r squared is equal to 4, 4, 8 divided by 7. Okay, so let's divide 4, 4, 8 by 7 and see what it will give us. 4, 4, 8 divided by 7, 64. So r squared is equal to 64. Therefore, r is equal to square root of 64, which is 8 cm. So the radius is 8 cm. We've answered the first question, the value of the radius. So having got the radius as 8 cm, let us now get the volume of the cone. The volume of a cone is equal to 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Okay? And we know that r over l is equal to 2 over 5. I need to get the value of the height. And our r is 8, which means 8 over l is equal to 2 over 5. Plus multiply 2l is equal to 8 times 5 is 40. Divide by 2. So slant height is also 20 cm. We need the height of the cone here. So if you have the cone like this now, this is the cone. This is the radius. Our radius is 8 cm, 8. Slant height is 20, and the height we don't know. This has formed a triangle where you can use Pythagoras Theorem. So h squared is equal to 20 squared minus 8 squared. h squared will give me 20 squared is 400. 8 squared is 64. And the 400 minus 64 will give us 336. So h will now be square root of 336. So square root of 336, that will give us 18.33 cm. That's our height. So I can take this side and complete this. We've known that our radius is 8 cm and our height is 18.33 cm. Therefore, using this formula for volume, I'll have that my volume is 1 over 3 times pi, 22 over 7, times radius, which is 8 squared, then times height, 18.33. So volume will give me 1 over 3 times 22 over 7. 8 squared is 64 over 1 times 18.33 all over 1. So let's multiply the numerator. 1 times 22 times 64 times 18.33. It will give us 25808.64. 3 times 7 is 21. So if I divide by 21, I will get 1228.98. To the nearest whole number, the volume will be 1229 centimeter cube. That is the volume of this particular cone. So let's take another question. The last question of this video. It says that a die was rolled a number of times. The outcomes are shown in the table below. A die is just that seat, that dice we use in playing Ludo games, and it has 6 faces numbered 1 to 6. So it was rolled or tossed a number of times. So after the toss, they found out that 1 appeared 32 times, 2 appeared more times, 3 appeared 25 times, 4 appeared 40 times, 6 28. This is 5. 5 appeared 28 times, while 6 appeared 45 times. The question now says, if the probability of obtaining a 2 is equal to 0.15, find these questions here. Now, probability of obtaining a 2 is equal to number of 2 over total number. First of all, let us get the total number of outcomes. So total outcomes will give us 32 plus m plus 25 plus 40 plus 28 plus 45. So we add 32 plus 25 is 57. This is 97. This is 105, 125. 170. So it will give us 170 plus m. That's our total. Therefore, probability of a 2, we are told that the probability of that 2 is 0.15. Hence, under probability of 2, I'll write 0.15 equals number of 2. How many 2 do we have here? 2 is m over total, which is 170 plus m. So from here you can cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you will see that 0.15 will be timesing 170 plus m. 0.15 is timesing 170 plus m equals 1 times m will still give us m. Now we use this 0.15 to times everything here. So 0.15 times 170, that will give us 25.5. 0.15 times m is 0.15 m equals m. Collect item, this plus will cross over, it becomes a minus. So 25.5 equals m minus 0.15 m. See this m as 1m, we don't normally write it. So to subtract this, you can call it 1 minus 0.15. So we have 25.5 m will give us 0.85 m. Therefore, to get the value of m, I will divide both sides by 0.85, which is the coefficient of m, 0.85. This cancels out. So our m will now be 25.5 divided by 0.85. That will give us 30. So m is 30. I've answered question I. So to answer question I, which says we should get the number of times the die was tossed. The number of times the dice was tossed is simple. The number of times the die was tossed is when we added all these things, we got it as 170 plus m. And you've seen that we've calculated the value of m to be 30. So number of times the dice was tossed will be 170 plus 30, which will give us 200. That's the answer. Then finally, the third question says the probability of obtaining an even number. Remember, m is now 30, so I can change this and write 30. Probability of even number is just number of even over total. How many even numbers do we have here? We have 2, 4, 6. Numbers divisible by 2 are even number. So 2 are how many? 30. 4, 40. We have it as 30 plus 40 is 70. Then 60 is 45. 70 plus 45 will give us 115 all over 200. Now 5 divided 11 is 2, remember 1. 5 divided 15 is 3. 5 here is 4, 5 here is 0. So finally the answer is 23 all over 40. And this is the answer to this particular question. We've successfully covered all the part A theory questions of 2018, 2019 and the 2020 WAEC past examinations questions. So expect videos on the theory part B for 2018, 2019 and 20. Don't forget that I am Mr. Esomnofu Chidebube, the owner of Esomnofu Online Maths. I have a YouTube channel, Facebook page, TikTok account, Instagram account, all named. The question says A over B, which means they want A to be on top so that B will be below. Therefore, I will divide by B since B will be below. I will say over B over B. B will cancel B. You can see that we've obtained that A over B they are talking about. You can now see that this 17 is now equal to 8A over B. And look at what we want. To get our 8A over B, I will divide both sides by 8 so that this 8 will leave A over B. Okay, so now my A over B will just be this 17 divided by 8, and that is the answer. But they said to 2 decimal places. Therefore, we obey the instruction to say 17 divided by 8. That will give us 2.125. To two decimal places, you can 1, 2. This is up to 5. You add 1 to these 2, it becomes 3. So A over B will now be 2.13 to 2 decimal places. Let's take the next question. In the question number 3A, we are told that Ali, Musha and Yusuf shared 420,000 naira in the ratio of 3:5:8 respectively. Find the sum of Ali and Yusuf's share. So we need to get Ali's share as well as Yusuf's share, then we'll add together. So total ratios is 3 plus 5 plus 8, which is equal to 16. So we'll have Ali is to Musha is to Yusuf, and the ratio is 3:5:8. This implies that Ali's share is 3 while Yusuf is 8. So Ali, we get 3 over total of 16 multiplied by 420,000 naira all over 1. Without wasting time, just multiply this by 3 divided by 16. So Ali will give us 3 times 420,000 naira, then divided by 16. That will give us 78,750 naira, no kobo. Also, we look for Yusuf's share. Yusuf will have a ratio of 8 over total of 16 times 420,000 naira. Of course, 8 here is 1, 8 here is 2. So we need just to divide 420 by 2. That will give us 210,000 naira, no kobo. Therefore, Ali's share plus Yusuf's share will give us 210,000 plus 78,750. Remember, no kobo. So add the zeros. This is 0, 5, 7, 8. 1 plus 7 is 8. Then we'll have our 2. So the answer is 288,750 naira, no kobo. That is the sum of their shares. Let's get to the next question. In question number 3B, we are asked to solve 2 into 1 over 8 power of x equals 32 power of x minus 1. This is a question under indices. So to solve this, you should know that this is the same thing as 2 times dot is times. 1 over 8 can be seen as 1 over 2 to the power of 3, then raised to the power of x equals 32 can be seen as 2 power of 5, then raised to the power of x minus 1. So this will now give us 2 multiplying 1 over 2 power of x is something as 1 over 2 power of 3 is something as 2 power of minus 3, then bracket x equals 2 to the power of 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times minus 1 is minus 5. So now this can be seen as 2 power of 1 times 2 power minus 3 times x is minus 3x equals 2 to the power of 5x minus 5. For the laws of indices, if you are timesing, you are free to add the powers. So this will give us 2 to the power of 1 plus minus 3x, which is just minus 3x, equals 2 to the power of 5x minus 5. Now we can equate their powers. Whenever their bases are the same, their powers are equal to each other from the laws of indices. Hence, we shall write that 1 minus 3x is equal to 5x minus 5. Collect like terms, we shall have minus 3x plus 5 crossing over, we shall have minus 5x equals minus 5. 1 crossing over will give us minus 1. So that minus 3x minus 5x will give us minus 8x equals minus 5 minus 1 will give us minus 6. To get the value of x, divide both sides by minus 8. we divide by minus 8. This we cancel out. Minus we cancel minus. 2 here is 3. Y2 here is 4. Therefore, x is equal to 3 all over 4. Let's take the next question. Okay, so in the fourth question, we are asked to find the area of this quadrilateral, given that this angle and this angle are 90 degrees. But I want you to understand that this is not a trapezium, it is not a parallelogram, there is no particular shape we call it, just know that it is a quadrilateral. So there is no straightforward formula for calculating the area, instead of considering the quadrilateral as consisting of two triangles. So I need to get the particular hypotenuse of this first triangle here. So I can bring out the first triangle out like this. So that here is now 4, here is 3. I don't know here, let me call it x. From Pythagoras Theorem, you can now see that x squared is 3 squared plus 4 squared. If you are looking for hypotenuse, you are adding. So x squared will give us 9 plus 16. And 9 plus 16 will give us 25. So to get the value of x, I will get the square root of 25. So my x is now 5 cm. This is the value of x. X is 5 cm. I can equally get this particular side since this is a right angle triangle. So if here is y, for instance, this is the hypotenuse, because any side facing the right angle is the hypotenuse. So since I'm not looking for the hypotenuse, I have to subtract. You can now see that y squared is equal to 13 squared then minus 5 squared. When I do that, you see that y squared is equal to 13 squared is 169 minus 5 squared is 25. So y squared will give me 169 minus 25 is 144. So that y is equal to square root of 144, and that will give us 12 cm. That's the value of y, 12 cm. So I can clean here and call it 12 cm. We've not actually done what we are to do because we need to get the area of the triangles one after the other. For this particular triangle, we know the height. It is upright. This is the height. And since we know the height, we can easily use the formula. Alright, so let us first of all get the area of this triangle A. It is a right angle triangle and you know the height already. An area of a triangle is half times base times height, which is half times the base is 4 cm times the height, which is 3 cm. Half of 4 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6. So the area of this one is 6 cm squared. So here is 6 cm squared. I'll clean off here so that I can get the area of B. So to get the area of this triangle, look at the triangle here. We have here as 12, here as 13, and here is 5. We don't know the height, so half base times height cannot help us. And there is no angle given. Getting the angle will waste a lot of time. So in this type of triangle, if you experience it, it is best to use Hero's formula. Hero's formula is telling us that area is equal to square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. And what is s? S is equal to the half of the sum of sides, a plus b plus c. So I can call here a, call here b, and call here c as you like. So to get my s now, s will now be half into a, which is 5, b, which is 12, c, which is 13. This will now be half times 5 plus 12 is 17, and 17 plus 13 is 30. Half of 30 is 15. So my s is 15. So area becomes square root. Seeing s, I will plug in 15 into s again. I will write 15 minus my a is 5 bracket s again. I will write 15 minus my b is 12. S again, I'll write 15 minus my c is 13. So the area will be square root of 15 times 15 minus 5 is 10 times 15 minus 12 is 3 times 15 minus 13 is 2. Okay, now 15 times 10 is 150. 150 times 3 is 450, and 450 times 2 is 900. So the area is equal to square root of 900, which is 30 centimeters squared. So the area of this one is 30 centimeters squared. Hence, the total area of this shape will now be 6 centimeters squared plus 30 centimeters squared, and that will give us 36 centimeters squared. Therefore, the area of this quadrilateral is 36 centimeters squared. Let's take another one. In the fifth question, 3 red balls, 5 green balls, and the number of blue balls are put together in a sack. One ball is picked at random from the sack. If the probability of picking a red ball is 1/6, find the number of blue balls. First of all, total balls we don't know, because we know that 3 balls, number of red balls is equal to 3, number of green balls is equal to 5, and the number of blue balls we don't know, we can let it be equal to y. So that total number of balls, total balls will now be 3 plus 5, which is 8, then plus y. This is total number of balls in the bag or in the sack. Now we are told that probability of picking a red ball is 1/6. Remember, probability of picking a red ball is equal to number of red balls over total number of balls. And what is the probability of picking a red ball? We are told is 1/6, so we represent it with 1/6 equals number of red balls, how many? 3 over total balls, which is 8 plus y. Cross multiply, 8 plus y with times 1, we shall get 8 plus y equals 6 times 3, we get 18. So that y is now 18 minus 8. And 18 minus 8 will give us 10. What is y? Number of blue balls. Therefore, number of blue balls is equal to 10. And that is question A, which we have answered. Question B says the probability of picking a green ball. Probability of picking a green ball means number of green balls, probability of picking a green ball is equal to number of green balls over sample space or total. How many green balls do we have? You've seen that green balls are 5 in number, so it will now give us probability of green balls will now be 5 over total number of balls is 8 plus y. Okay, total number of balls is 8 plus y. And what is our y? Our y is 10 from here, so 8 plus 10 is 18. Total number of balls is now 18. So the probability of picking a green ball is 5 over 18, since the total is 8 plus y, and we've got our y as 10. So putting y here, we'll have 8 plus 10, which is 18. So the answer is 5 over 18 for the probability of picking a green ball. Here comes the end of 2019. Let us go to 2020 part A. The first question in 2020 part A theory question says that if A is a multiple, A is a multiples of 2, B multiples of 3, and C factors of 6 are subset of universal set X such that 1 is less than or equal to X and X is less than or equal to 10. We should find A complement, intersection B complement, intersection C complement. To do that, first of all, let us get our universal set. Our universal set, this means that it lies from 1 to 10, since it is inclusive, less than or equal to, less than or equal to. So universal set is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So set A, multiples of 2, those numbers 2 can divide, which are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There are so many multiples of 2, which is more than 10, but no set should be more than the universal set. Now set B, multiples of 3, which are 3, 6, and 9 only. While set C, factors of 6. Factors of 6 are those numbers that can divide 6, which are 1, 2, 3, and even 6. These are the numbers that can divide 6. So we are asked to find A complement intersection B complement intersection C complement. Before we can find their intersection, let us get their complements one after the other. We can equally use Morgan's rule, but for clearer understanding, let us get the complements of A, B, and C. So A complement will give us those sets that are in universal sets which are not in set A is known as A complement. So A complement will be 1 is not here, 3 is not there, 5, 7, and 9. These are the sets or the elements that are missing in set A. B complement are those elements that are missing in set B, which is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. Then C complement are those sets, those members or elements missing in set C, which is 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Therefore, A complement intersection B complement intersection C complement will give us, intersection means what element do we see in A, B, and C complement at the same time. For example, 1 is here, 1 is here, 1 is not here, you leave it. 3 is here, 3 is not here, leave it. 5 is here, 5 is here, and 5 is here, write it. 7 is here, 7 is here, 7 is here, you write it. 9 is here, 9 is not here, no need. So that set that is common, or that element that is common to all of them is their intersection. That is why A complement, intersection B complement, intersection C complement gave us 5, 7. Let's take another question. Number 1B, we are told that tickets for a movie premiere cost $18.5 each. If you are buying a single ticket, you pay $18.5. While a bulk purchase price for 5 tickets is $80. If you are buying for 5 tickets, bulk purchase, you pay $80. Now, some persons are wise. After knowing that if they pay individually, it will cost them $18.5. And they know that if they are up to 5 and pay and make a bulk purchase of 5 tickets, they have to pay $80. But they are 4, so they decide to get a 5th person that will make them 5, so that they can buy the bulk purchase in order to save some money. So the question is now asking us, how much would each person save? To know the amount of money each person will save, first of all, there are $80 there, and there are 5. So you say $80 divided by 5, first of all. Or rather, look at the best approach to this particular question is to know that since they are 5, assuming they are to buy the tickets one by one, you will now see that it will cost them 5 persons buying it singly. We pay 18.5 times 5. Let's multiply. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. You write 5 carry 2. 5 times 8 is 40 plus 2, 42. You write 2 carry 4. 5 times 1, 5 plus 4, 9. So this is the total they would have paid for 5 persons if they are to pay it one person by person. Now, all of them will save because they would have paid 92.50. But now, since that buying for bulk, they pay 80. So the total amount saved will now be 80. This $92.5 minus $80.00, so that we can know what they saved. They would have paid $92.5, where they now paid $80 because they paid in bulk. The difference will give us this is 2 and this is 1, so they saved $12.50. That is $12.50. That is what they saved collectively. But the question said, what will each person save? Each person will now save. How many are they? They are 5. So each person will save this $12.5 divided by 5. 5 divided 12 is 2, remainder 2. put the 2 here, it becomes 25. 5 divided 25 is 5, and 5 divided 0 is 0. So the answer is $2.5. That is what they will save. So let's take another question. In question number 2a, given that P is equal to RK over Q minus MS, all in a bracket, to the power of 2 over 3. We are asked to make Q the subject of the formula. You have P is equal to RK all over Q minus MS to the power of 2 over 3. To make this subject, we need to deal with this power. And since the power is 2 over 3, to make the power go away, you raise both sides to a power of 3 over 2. Just reverse it. So that 3 will cancel 3, 2 will cancel 2. It will go. And whatever you do to the right hand side, you must do to the left hand side. So because I raise here to the power of 3 over 2, I will also raise P to the power of 3 over 2. Therefore, we have P power of 3 over 2 is equal to just RK all over Q, then minus MS. Let this MS leave here so that this Q I am making the subject to be more comfortable. So we have P to the power of 3 over 2 plus MS equals RK all over Q. I can call this over 1, then cross multiply. When I cross multiply, Q will be times in this. So we have Q into P to the power of 3 over 2 plus MS equals RK. So to get Q, I'll divide both sides by P to the power of 3 over 2 plus MS over P to the power of 3 over 2 plus MS. This will cancel out. I'll have that Q is equal to RK all over P to the power of 3 over 2 plus MS. I've answered question I, but I says we should